Welcome back to Island Contracting Nightly Sports Coverage. Walsh along with Andrew Fillipponi for tonight's show. We're going to go right out to the phone lines here. We got Rich in Altoona, and I'm going to start with Rich because he was on yesterday, asked a question. He wants to follow up and get your opinion. I don't think he liked Mueller's opinion.
No, it wasn't that, Rich. I wanted to answer Chris's question last night because I brought up the Godzilla reference about that building that the Pirates keep telling us they're building, and he wanted to know how tall Godzilla was. And I got cut off before I could answer, so I wanted to call back and say he was listed in the original movie as over 400 feet tall.
Oh.
So that building I'm talking about, it would be like over 4,000 feet that the Pirates keep telling us they're building. But in reference to what you were saying about Major League Baseball last night, I think, you want to blame Major League Baseball for no salary cap, but you're never going to get a cap because the players union, to me, is too strong. And if they want to sit out and not have a salary cap, then fine. Sit out, strike, whatever, because the owners don't lose in a lockout or a strike. And I think that you do need a salary cap in baseball because it's the same 6-8 teams every year, and the Pirates aren't going to be one of them. That's what's frustrating to us Pirates fans.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think a salary floor is more important, Pony. The luxury tax kind of acts like a salary cap, but I think there needs to be a salary floor for sure.
Well, yeah, that would be a good place to start. Can you get that floor high enough where the disparity between what the Dodgers are paying right now and what the Pirates would have to pay their players, where it made you feel like there was a level playing field? I mean, if the salary floor is, let's say, $110 million, I mean, there still might be $80, $90 million separating the Pirates from the Yankees and the Dodgers, and that's still a pretty sizable gap between the two. Major League Baseball, I can't stress this enough, Major League Baseball doesn't want the Pirates to be a good team. There's no incentive for Major League Baseball to feel that way because for them, they believe, the data backs it up, that when the Red Sox or the Cubs or the Yankees or the Dodgers are in the World Series, it's better for the sport. More people watch. It helps them generate more revenue. So that's the issue. There's nothing that appeals to the owners, to Rob Manfred, to the people that are the power brokers in baseball, to put in a salary cap system that's going to benefit teams like the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland A's. They don't want to do that. They want those big market teams to be as good as possible, and that's why I think we're going to have status quo in baseball for a long, long time.
So why does it work in the NFL? Why does it work in the NBA? I mean, the NHL I know they want certain teams in the NHL to succeed because of ratings. But, I mean, look at the NFL and look at the NBA. I mean, there's a lot of parity.
Right. Okay, so the NHL needed a salary cap because without it, teams were going to fold. And teams like the Penguins that had a bad arena deal that was an old Civic Arena, at that point, the ticket revenue wasn't there, no luxury boxes, things like that. The Penguins weren't alone in that boat. A lot of teams were in that situation. That's why they didn't play for an entire year. Teams were losing money hand over fist. They had a horrible television deal that, frankly, hasn't gotten that much better in the subsequent years. The NFL, it doesn't matter where the teams play, whether it's Green Bay, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, New York. There's such an appetite for the NFL in this country that people are going to watch. They're going to make $15 billion a year because of fantasy, gambling. People like football more than the other sports. And you just brought up basketball. I don't think that the NBA, I think they're shaking in their boots right now that they're going to get an NBA Finals between the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks. And if they do, let's see what the ratings look like. But I think the NBA's preference is to have LeBron's team play whoever in the NBA Finals every year. That their ratings are based on either a big market making it or a big star, like a LeBron or a Michael Jordan, and that's where the NBA makes its money.
All right, let's go out to John in Ross Township. How you doing, John?
Great. Hey, Chris, exactly what I'm looking at, what you were talking about. I look at it as the Pirates' payroll is about $40 million. Bob Nutting buys a team for $92 million back in '96. So if he could kick in another $80 million, at least to keep up with the Cubs, the Cardinals, and the Cincinnati Reds in the way of payroll, at least they have a chance to win in their division. And you can comment on it.
John, John Pony, it's a pride thing, too. For me, if you're the owner, don't you want to be good? I mean, I know you want to make a lot of money, and he views it strictly as a business. I get that, but maybe just because I'm not a billionaire or millionaire, I just would want to win. I want to win.
Yeah, but I don't think if the winning gets in the way of the business operation, that's where the conflict of interest comes in. And so, periodicals or publications like Forbes magazine have found in the last, 10 years of baseball that teams with low payrolls actually make more money a lot of the times than the teams with big payrolls that go on to make playoff runs. Because of all the money, if you're the Houston Astros and you've got a $20 million payroll, you've got TV revenue coming in, you've got revenue sharing checks. I mean, there's a lot of ways to make income. So it is there's not enough incentive, there's not enough motivation for some of these small market owners like the Pirates, teams like the Pirates, to really spend that extra money to win with no guarantee that they'll go on playoff runs or that they'll even win the division. And so that kind of risk-adverse behavior puts us in the situation that we're in now, where they've got to win on a budget. And it's very, very hard in baseball to do that. There are exceptions, of course, like Tampa Bay, but we saw the Pirates over the last 30 years. They've made the playoffs, 3 times? So that's obviously a very difficult thing to do. Well, I just think that there's questions about Gensel. And I know he had great regular season numbers in what was a short year playing on Sidney Crosby's line. But if he's not going to do anything in the playoffs and he's going to get pushed around and bullied, what's the point? James Neal scored a lot of regular season goals. Couldn't get it done in the playoffs. They needed to trade him for Patrick Hornquist. That's all I'm saying. Is that,
right,
in order to get a goaltender, you're going to have to give up something.
Yeah.
You want to go into free agency, you want Peter Mrazek or Freddie Anderson or one of these guys, go ahead. But they're not going to be the difference between a first-round exit and a Stanley Cup run, in my opinion. They're not good enough.
We got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls and more of Pony's comments. Stay right there.